emotions have to be invoked to boost morale and not to devise strategies which is incumbent on purely technical parameters. If emotions infuse motivation, then it makes your way. But if emotions replace reason, then it blocks your way. So, you ought to be the master of your thoughts and not the slave of your emotions. Harmonize passion with reason. Let's move ahead to our journey to the world of rationalism. I had tried to evolve the theory of human passions in one of the earlier episodes. As per this theory, there are scores of passions which exist in human mind, and each passion has to be invigorated in the right measure at the right time so as to accomplish optimality. One of such passions, or rather the most important passion, is emotions. If we want to succeed in life, we ought to know where to invoke emotions and where not to. While emotions are necessary in life, mainly for the purpose of motivation, yet one ought to know that one of the most negative collaterals of emotions is that it cannibalizes on reason. In other words, emotions kill reason, and that reason is the essence of any successful venture. Examples are the best way to understand complicated things which are intrinsic to your life. And of course, the best way to know things is to learn from history. So we go to the Second World War, from where the best lessons of history could be learned. In war, the best operational targets are the defense installations such as the airports, radar centers, ammunition depots, etc., etc. This cripples the capacity of the enemy to hit back. So when the Second World War started, Hitler attacked Britain and started bombarding the defense installations, but not the cities. When the war was at its most fierce form, Britain decided to bombard German capital Berlin so as to dampen the emotional surge of the Germans and to demoralize them completely. So the famous bombing raids of Berlin commenced. The attack on the German capital enraged Hitler and he became highly emotional. But that was the time to keep his cool and to use reason to adopt strategies so that the capacity of Britain to launch air attacks could be crippled. But that did not become the case. Hitler then decided to retaliate by bombing London rather than bombing the defense installations of Britain. Thus spoke Hitler, drowned in such emotions where reason had no place. And should the Royal Air Force drop 2,000, 3,000 or 4,000 kilograms of bombs, then we will drop 150,000, 180,000, 300,000, 400,000, yes, 1 million kilograms in a single night. And should they declare that they will greatly increase their attacks on our cities, then we will erase their cities. So, instead of erasing the Air Force of Britain, Hitler decided to erase the city of London, which comprised essentially non-military targets. This shift in strategy of Germans gave Britain enough time to massively build its air force, and thereafter the same air force destroyed the entire Germany. And that is how all the major German cities got flattened and became a heap of rubble. Hitler lost and Britain won. So what lesson do we derive from this? The lesson is that when one is failing, the most critical thing is to evolve strategies through calculated and well thought out reasoning. But that is also the time when one is emotionally agitated. But one ought to reckon the stark truth and it is that emotions undermine reason. Emotions have to be invoked to boost morale and not to devise strategies which is incumbent on purely technical parameters. What is true for the nations is also true for your life. After all, it's the people who take decisions for nations. So, when in your life, when often you would be facing setbacks, you may become emotional. But limit your emotions only to the level of motivation and nothing beyond. Crossing that point of emotions, it will only be reason which shall prevail. So remember, if emotions infuse motivation, then it makes your way. But if emotions replace reason, then it blocks your way. So you ought to be the master of your thoughts and not the slave of your emotions.